Importing during Triads is a big no-no. Demand Triad tariffs far outweigh export tariffs. In certain regions, importing in just one Triad can cost over £20,000 per megawatt imported, and there are no adjustments made. Basically, it doesn't matter why you're importing. If you are, you pay the cost. That means it's pretty risky for a battery to operate in certain markets and services during potential Triad periods, in case they have to import. Specifically, this means high frequency response services and the balancing mechanism. Thankfully, battery operators are pretty darn good at guessing when Triads will be, but they are getting harder to guess. Very few batteries seem to clock the Triad at 5:30 on the 2nd of December, as we can see from their export levels at that time. So we know that many batteries didn't manage to export and take advantage of that Triad, but were any batteries caught importing? Well, unfortunately, yes. Frequency was high during the 2nd of December Triad, and some batteries were contracted into high frequency dynamic regulation. This will have seen them importing around 30% of their contracted capacity during the Triad. Of those batteries that were contracted into high frequency dynamic regulation, the normalised cost of doing so in overall revenue terms was as high as £3,900 per megawatt. Also, some batteries were still available to be called upon in the balancing mechanism for that 2nd of December Triad, more so than the other Triads, which were predicted pretty accurately. Due to that high frequency I talked about before, a handful of batteries were called upon to import at this time, at an average cost of over £3,500 per megawatt, again in terms of overall revenues. However, from next year, Triad charges are changing, so failing to predict a Triad correctly in future will be far less costly. Want to delve further into all of these details? Modo Plus and Enterprise users can check out our latest deep dive on Phase. I'll see you next time.